Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, fremde, étranger.
Cabaret, the film, was released in 1975 as an adaptation of the stage musical of the same name that premiered in 1966 on Broadway, with music by Tony Award winner John Kander, lyrics by Fred Ebb, and book by Joe Masteroff, and directed by the legendary Broadway choreographer Bob Fosse, starring Hollywood and musical theater icon Liza Minnelli. The film is celebrated for its iconic score, dazzling musical scenes, iconic performances, and subversive themes of sexuality and queer identity in the setting of Germany's alternative nightclub scene. But there is one factor that contrasts the glitz and glamour of its bright musical setting. Cabaret is adapted from the play I Am a Camera, which was inspired by Christopher Isherwood's book Berlin Stories, specifically Goodbye to Berlin, detailing his experiences in Weimar-era Berlin's decadent nightlife prior to the rise of Nazism. The story follows Brian, a naive British author just arriving in Germany where he meets a free-spirited cabaret performer, Sally Bowles, who works at a nightclub called the Kit Kat Club, led by the elusive figure of the club's MC. From there, Sally and Brian begin a whirlwind romance with another rich man named Max, all while tensions in Berlin rise as the Nazi regime grows in power. Unlike most musicals, all of the songs in Cabaret are not specifically related to the plot or character motives. Instead, most of the songs are limited to being performed inside of the Kit Kat Club's cabaret-style performances, each musical number serving as a metaphor for the changing political landscape. The MC acts as the Kit Kat Club's master of distraction, charming the audience into complacency as fascism sneaks in through the back door. In this scene, the juxtaposition between the two shots shows the performance physically masking the sound of violence. This reflects how distraction becomes a form of concealment for rising fascism. As the film goes on, jokes get darker, and the MC reflects the way fascist ideology is spread and normalized. One example of this is through the song, If You Could See Her Through My Eyes.
If you could see her through my eyes, you wouldn't wonder at all. If you could see her through my eyes, I guarantee you would fall like I did.
What once appeared to be a comedic song takes a turn.
But if you could see her through my eyes, she wouldn't look Jewish at all.
This line confronts the audience head-on, forcing them to realize that they have been laughing along with anti-Semitic rhetoric without recognizing it. Throughout the film, we follow two stories, the musical scenes taking place inside the Kit Kat Club and the relationship between Brian, Sally, and Max. The relationship scenes between Sally, Brian, and Max are filmed as personal moments, removed from politics and the viewer. The characters' separation mirrors their own indifference to the rising dangers, trapped in their own escapism. As the Nazis gain power, the separation between the club and the outside world erodes. The performances grow darker and the characters' relationships fracture. The separation is severed with the song Tomorrow Belongs to Me.
But gather together to greet the star.
Is a beautiful traditional ballad with beautiful lyrics and imagery about nature. The once cheerful ballad sours into a Nazi anthem, foreshadowing their eventual power. Tomorrow Belongs to Me is is the only song to take place outside of the club, forcing both the characters and the viewer to acknowledge the extent to which the regime gained power in the time that they spent distracted in the club. The music in Cabaret is not used to charm the viewer, but to place them in the shoes of the German citizens, confronting the viewer to reflect on political and social change around them. Throughout the film, the cabaret itself is used as a metaphor for political ignorance. We see this through the title number, Cabaret.
Chum, come to the cabaret.
In her last scene, Sally is alone. Brian has left Germany and the Nazi regime grows more and more powerful every day. She has hit rock bottom, yet there she remains, still singing in the club. The free spirit and wild nature that once made Sally charming becomes her biggest downfall. She refuses to acknowledge the growing danger around her and instead retreats to her bubble of performance and ignorance. Sally ends the film stuck in a cycle of hope yet failure. Sally is a victim of fascism, but it is her own indifference that plants the roots to her own freedom being lost.
In your room. Come, hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret.
Sally as a character serves as a cautionary tale, so afraid of consequence that she does nothing against it, noticing the horror yet feeling powerless to intervene. Sally reflects the people of Nazi Germany and the viewer, and how the survival tactic of complacency ends up in their very own demise. Finally, the film ends with a reprise of the intro song Willkommen.
Beautiful.
The once fun tune turns eerie. Stripping away the illusion of safety, what once was a form of escapism has finally been infiltrated, leaving the audience with nowhere left to hide.
Auf Wiedersehen. A bientôt.
The camera pans to a mirror reflecting the audience of the Kit Kat Club, now full of Nazis. This reflection forces the audience to consider their own surroundings. They too have been distracted by the glitz and the glamour, and they too have fallen into the trap of complacency. But how is some random film from the 70s based on events from the 30s relevant today? History doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes, and through Cabaret we are forced to reflect and look around at our present. The film as a whole is a cautionary tale of political indifference, warning how complacency to fascism is complicit in its growth. If you choose to ignore the inherent signs of fascism around you, you are already blind to the potential dangers coming. Cabaret uses the Kit Kat Club in the setting of Nazi-era Berlin as a wake-up call to any form of fascism, no matter the era. So it's time to wake up.